All right, so what I just realized was that there is a generate response button, and I accidentally pushed it twice because I thought it was going to be a response for me to respond, but or whatever. So what it did was it refreshed the AI so that it gives a different answer. So here's two that just came up. Mirages are optical illusions that occur when light rays are refracted or bent as they pass through different layers of air with varying temperatures. Okay, so now, again, this is just an AI bot response, right? There's no science for this. Like I've seen books and I've seen articles that say this, but where's the science? Where's the tests? Where are the measurements? Because if you think about the physics of air over the corridor through which or across which you are looking, your eyes are only at 60 inches. No matter how far away the distance is, your eyes are always at 60 inches, and that's where the mirage happens. The mirage happens below your eye level. So you've got to have varying temperatures all within that degree. So I'm not really happy with that. Different layers. Show me those layers, please. Show me those boundary layers. Thank you. Meteorological AI. This causes the light to change direction and create distorted images that appear to be real but are actually not there. That's close enough but not specific enough, right? We're still not dealing with the entire, like in my mind, after 4 years of watching mirages, I'm like waiting for these things to be described by AI, and they're not just yet. This is all too clinical. In a typical mirage, the air near the ground is hotter than the air above it, which causes the light to bend upwards away from the ground. As a result, objects on the ground, such as roads, buildings, or trees, appear to be lifted up and floating in the air. This phenomenon is called a superior mirage. This is exactly what just was described as an inferior mirage in the previous response, if I'm not mistaken. Or it just described it as a mirage, because the last response was, what is a mirage? And then there's two types, right? And what just happened right now with that description, that's what a mirage is. The air is hotter near the ground than above it. Conversely, when there is a layer of cold air near the ground and warmer air above it, that's a development, AI. The light is bent downward, creating an image that appears to be below the actual object. This type of mirage is known as an inferior. Look at this. This type of mirage is known as an inferior mirage, and it is often seen as a shimmering pool of water or a puddle on a hot day. That is just too simplistic. Sorry. Mirages are most commonly seen in deserts or on hot pavement, where the temperature difference between the ground is more pronounced. There's a different adjective than the previous. What was the previous one? Let's look at the previous one. Hold on real quick. I'm just pulling it up. Significantly. Significantly. Okay, so there you go, right? There's significantly, and now pronounced, right? Is there a difference between pronounced and significantly? However, they can also occur in other environments, such as over bodies of water or on cold winter days, or in any geographical area, which now just completely nullifies the qualification that it happens here, but it can also happen here. If it can happen here, but it can also happen here, it can happen anywhere there is a temperature differential. Or that's simply a temperature gradient. Temperature gradient, temperature gradient. Again, show me the science. Check, 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 check. Oh, how sad. How sad. I just got done with a rant. I'm going to have to recreate that entire rant. All right, this is the third installment, right? I could just regenerate a response and it'll come up with a new response each time. This is insane. Mirages occur when light is refracted or bent by variations, now that's another term, in the density of the air. This is typically caused by a gradient in the temperature of the air near the ground. That's just the way everything is. The air closest to my body is warmer than the air away from my body. That's just the way shit works. Is there a mirage around my body? Maybe, depending on how close you can get and what angle you can get your eyeball to. When the air near the ground is warmer than the air above it, the light is bent upwards as it passes through the boundary between the two layers, causing objects to appear to be elevated. This, to me, is describing what they think is a superior mirage, but there's no differentiation here right now. It's just describing mirages. The most common type of mirage is known as an inferior mirage, which appears as a shimmering, distorted reflection of the sky or distant objects on a hot road or desert surface or across water, either on the East Coast or the West Coast or in Lake Pontchartrain, New Orleans. Come on. This stuff happens everywhere. In this type of mirage, the hot ground warms the air near the surface, causing it to refract light upwards toward the observer's eye. Okay, this is just too stupid to even... I'll let you geeks out there break this down, because it's just... I know what this is, but I don't want to break this down. Another type of mirage is the superior mirage, which occurs when a layer of cold air lies close to the ground. What temperature is the ground, prithee? What temperature is the ground? Is it colder or warmer? But to continue with the AI's response, with a layer of warmer air above it. So this is typically called an anomaly. This isn't normal. So you have to have a layer over a layer over a layer, not a gradient, because warmer air is typically above colder air. But when you have a hot ground surface and then a cooler air surface, that's just, what is this? That's just the way it always is. In this case, light is bent downward as it passes through the boundary between the two layers, causing objects to appear to be raised or inverted. Oh, see, look, like they're hedging their bets right now. It can either be 90-degree vertical or 180 degrees inverted. That's interesting. That's an interesting caveat. So, which is it? If it's raised, why is it raised? If it's vertically raised, why? They don't differentiate here. You notice that? You can't be satisfied with this answer, because this is another element that they don't have a specific on. Mirages can also occur in the atmosphere. I'm sorry, the what? The air? You mean the air? No, the atmosphere. Where's that? Well, it's anything above the ground. The air? Haven't we been talking about the air the entire time? Why are you calling it the atmosphere all of a sudden? Such as when the sun is never near the horizon. Apparently it is. Perspectively it is. But it's not. Such as when the sun is near the horizon and its light is refracted by layers of air of different densities. Show me that science. Help me help you. Help me. Help me help you. Layers of air of different densities? Show me that. Go ahead. I'll wait. Causing the sun to appear distorted or elongated. These types of mirages are known as Fata Morgana mirages. Now, that's much, much, much too simple. That's too simplistic of a response. Fata Morganas are much, much, much more technical and complicated than that. This is just another example of, I don't even know. Like, I guess I would have to write this on I just have to riff on what I think would be an appropriate description and definition of these things. But anyway. All right, so there you go. There's 3 out of 3 entries for What is a Mirage by ChatGPT. This has been another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. Until next time.